Hello everyone and thanks for stopping by my channel. I am Serge T. In this video I'll be talking about Monday Night Raw for the month of July 15th, 2024. And Rhea makes her way to the ring to a thunderous ovation. She made her return last week, kind of walking into a very compromising position between Dom and Liv. And Rhea tonight tells the Monday Night Raw crowd that Mommy is home, getting a loud cheer from the crowd. It's been 3 months since Ripley was in the ring. That's because of one person, Liv Morgan. Rhea has seen Liv walking around with something of Rhea's, and it's not Dom. She will handle him later tonight. It's Ripley's title that is in Liv's possession. Rhea wants Liv in the ring right now so she can rip her apart. Dirty Dom's music plays and Dom walks to the ring with a rose in hand. The usual boos follow Dom and Rhea turns her back and doesn't even look at him. Not even looking at Dom, man. She don't want nothing to do with that scoundrel, if you know what I'm saying. Now, Liv Morgan appears on the Tron and Morgan apologizes for her voice. She had such a good time in Mexico and is a screamer. I'm thinking, what did that mean? But then I saw some WWE backstage stuff and they're talking about how they just finished a tour in Mexico. So I don't know. I thought it was something like that has to do with the fact that, Dom and his dad and everything, his background is they're Mexican. I thought, oh, she did something with Dom in Mexico? But the crowd oohs at that. They're letting their dirty minds, get the best of them. And then Liv says hello to her daddy Dominic. I am sure she did that to get a reaction from Rhea. And Liv brags about what she has done with Dom, or that what she has with Dom, excuse me, being more real than what Dom has with Rhea. Rhea challenges Liv to a match at SummerSlam for the championship, and Liv tells Ripley that the Liv Morgan she sees is not the old Liv that Ripley used to know. Liv finally helped Dom beat his deadbeat father. That's something that Rhea never did. And she will beat her at SummerSlam. Now, Rhea looks into the camera and says she isn't only going to end the champ's title reign, she's going to end Morgan's career as well. And after the break, we see Ripley goes to the Judgment Day dressing room and finds it all set up to make up to her. But she slams the door in Dom's face. I really didn't have a clear look at what was set up, and I'm sure there was, champagne and maybe some more flowers, maybe some candy there. I don't know. And then Priest asks if everything's all right. And Dom says he thinks so, but not really, as Rhea throws all that stuff that was in there set up for her, throws it all over Dom. And he says that it is more complicated than he thought, and Priest agrees. It's funny how Priest seems to be the one setting him up. Like he wants him and Rhea to not, work out. Maybe Priest has his eyes on Mommy. I don't know. I mean, later on we're gonna find out someone else that has eyes for Mommy there. We're gonna talk about that later. Now, Sheamus versus Bronson Reed, the clash of the titans, if you will. And Sheamus and Reed look to impose their wills to start the match. Sheamus gets Reed in a fireman's carry, but Reed elbows his way out. Sheamus and Reed go at it again, trading shots. And no, I'm not talking about drinking. Reed goes out to the apron. He gets knocked out to the apron by a shoulder tackle by Sheamus. Sheamus looks to deliver the 10 beats, but Reed fights out of it and takes Sheamus to the floor. Reed hits Sheamus with a running shoulder tackle off the apron. Sheamus goes over the commentary desk after a toss by Reed. Sheamus gives Reed a 10 beats against the commentary desk, an unusual place to do so, but it gets the results. After the break, Sheamus manages to muscle up Reed and delivers white noise. Reed kicks out, then Reed runs over Sheamus. Reed goes for broke, but misses a moonsault. Sheamus sees this and advances and lands a running knee for the win. Now Reed tries to sneak attack Sheamus, but Pete Dunne arrives and takes down Reed, with a kick to Reed's head. Dunne walks away after Sheamus tries to shake his hand. As Sheamus turns around, Dunne attacks him from behind. And then Reed sees the opening and flattens Sheamus with a tsunami. I'm not going to try to do it. I'm not going to even try to do it the way Wade Barrett does, because he doesn't. There's no way to do that justice. He's the only one that can do it that well. I mean, Michael Cole's done it, and he kind of does decent, I guess, but nothing like Wade Barrett there. Now, she's angry, huh? Says Carlito. This is after, we see that Rhea asked Dom, where have you been for the last 3 months while she was recovering? Oh, you're spending time with your little girlfriend. Then Carlito gives that gem. Carlito's funny. He's money when it comes to this little lines that he delivers and shit. And don't know how he fits with the Judgment Day, but he's there. It's just another extra set of hands, feet, and muscle that they need, I guess, for Judgment Day. And then Sammy tells Dragunov to bring his best, and Ilya tells Sammy, you better do the same, as they face off in the main event for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, earlier backstage, Zelina Vega is interviewed by Jackie Redmond, and Zelina says she doesn't care about Rhea Ripley being back. Everyone knows that if it wasn't for Dirty Dom, she would be champion. I don't know about that. I love you, Zelina, but don't think so. And then Deville, Stark, and Baszler interrupt. And then Deville tells Vega that there is a line to get to the championship, but it starts behind them. Vega then challenges Deville to a match. This was earlier, and then now we have the match. It is Zelina Vega versus Sonya Deville. And Sonya Deville, of course, has her girls with her. Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. Now, Deville and Vega go back and forth with shots. Again, they're not drinking. Just want to make sure that you know. Vega delivers a DDT to Deville after countering a slam. Deville is put into position for a 619 by Vega. The referee is distracted and gives Baszler the opening and snaps Vega's arm on the apron. Deville delivers Deville's advocate. All right. What a shoehorn of you get it? Devil's advocate, get it? Definitely. She does that to Vega and gets the win. I don't know, man. What was that move of hers? She just put a name onto a known move. If you put your name on a move, it should be something different. Something that would kind of lend credibility because your name is attached to it. Like, you're going to do a DDT. Oh, it's the, so-and-so's DDT or the so-and-so drop or something. It's like, it doesn't make any kind of, it doesn't legitimize the move or make the move any special. Now, whatever, she got the victory. I guess that's better than nothing. And I don't see anything special with her and her group. I don't. Talented women, talented ladies. They are tough. Especially their background, especially with Deville and Baszler. They do have an MMA background, but put them together after Zelina Vega and not Zelina Vega, but Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark didn't want anything to do with Deville, and all of a sudden now they're a group now and they start attacking people. They took out Damage Control, but who cares? Because Damage Control hasn't been booked strong. I love those ladies too, but this is like, you don't book these people strong. Who cares? And that's the sad thing, because we should care, and more more effort should be put into it. But let's just see. It's still young with these guys. Let's see what they do with these ladies. you know. And then get a typical post-match attack. And you see Deville and company attack Vega, but then Valkyria, Carter, and Chance make the save. Now, Dom tells Priest why he didn't tell him about Rhea. That's what happened in the previous Monday Night Raw. He said he had something to tell Dom. Oh, no, I'm just going to let Dom find out for himself. And that's what it was, that she was coming back. And then he is told that he tried, but Priest tells Dom he lied about being in contact with Mommy and ending things with Liv. Now Jay comes in and wants Dom to tell Rhea. He says hi. He says hi. Tell him I said hi. However you said it. I kind of look silly doing that. But he did. And then Priest tells Dom that you're in prison. You don't let somebody talk to you like that. You need to show Jey Uso who Rhea belongs to. Those are words that are going to haunt Dom when he uses those very words later on, but we'll get to that later. Now, Gable's going to confront Bo Dallas, who he cleverly uncovered as Uncle Howdy. He tells Pierce to do something about it, but he tells Gable that Bo is here tonight and talk to him himself. I mean, it's not a secret who it is, but I guess for kayfabe sense or for storyline wise, nobody knew. I guess, but you put two and two together. I mean, Bray's gone. Who's going to be Uncle Howdy? His brother. You don't even need to, get one of the best sleuths in the world, Columbo or Hercule Poirot or, Agatha Christie. I mean, I'm bringing those things up, and some of you are like, "Well, who's that?" And it's way back in the day. Those are OG detectives and sleuths and what you want to call it. But you don't even need to have their expertise. You know who it was. Now, Damian Priest was face to face with Gunther. Priest says he has a match with Strowman tonight, but he wants to get this conversation with Gunther out of the way now. Gunther joins Priest in the ring, and Gunther tells Priest he's failing as world champion. That's what a lot of people are saying. A lot of people echo what Gunther is saying, but I don't agree. I think he's doing a good job, a decent job, the best job that he can do. What do you want? What do you want? Priest laughs. And Gunther tells Priest he's going to do Priest a favor by taking the championship from him. Priest should just do Gunther a favor and save himself the embarrassment by handing Gunther the title now. Priest said he fought for his life on the streets for 20 years to get to this point. He earned his world championship. Priest says that Gunther's here, and if it isn't his dream, to be here, and they don't want him there. They don't need him here. Gunther knows that it's not his fault that Priest's parents don't love him enough to give him, the good life, the better life, Gunther has no idea what it's like, but he's going to rescue the world championship from Priest. Priest responds that for someone with so much clarity, it's crazy that Gunther can't see what's coming right at him. Priest says Gunther has no heart. Gunther and Priest get into each other's face. And then that one big son bitch, his music hits. And you know who that is? That is Braun Strowman. And back from the break, and Jay is told he has Dirty Dom in the ring tonight. Then Breaker is all bent out of shape because Dragunov is challenging Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. And then, Priest points out that Braun, you lost at Money in the Bank. You got no more opportunities, no more chances. Done. End of story. And then Pierce ejects him to keep any damage he may inflict. I mean, he should have made sure that the security effectively, ejects him from the ring. We're going to find out what happens if certain Mr. Breaker makes an appearance later on. And then, okay, let's see, the World Heavyweight Championship match. Well, not championship match, maybe in the future for Braun Strowman, but he faces the world champion Damian Priest. Now, this match was physical, and at one point, Strowman was looking to get the Strowman Express rolling, but Braun injures his knee, and then Priest looks to focus on that bum knee and does. Now, Strowman weathers the pain and hits a splash in the corner. Not a lot of oomph to it because he couldn't run hard or run fast to deliver that. And then Priest chop blocks him to stop his momentum, and then after a series of offense by both, Priest manages to get Strowman up for the South of Heaven and picks up the win. And then we see a post-match brawl between Priest and Gunther, and Priest ends up clearing the ring. So I think this kind of made a little bit more people, be interested in this match. I don't know if it's going to be really anything special in the sense that these two really don't look like they're a good match. They're both heels. They both have the same type of cocky attitude. There's not someone that's coming from behind to try and win the title. Excuse me. And Gunther is confident. He's not, thinking, second guessing himself. He's not thinking, okay, I'm going to be in a fight for my life. He doesn't say that. He just says straight up, I'm going to win this championship. And matter of fact, I'm going to save you the embarrassment. How about you give me your championship now? I mean, that's a lot of cockiness, a lot of confidence from the Ring General. But of course, he's held that Intercontinental title. He held it for 666 days, and that's the longest ever that's been held. So we'll see what happens on that match. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I can see why people are not really invested in it. But hopefully they can prove people wrong. And then if Gunther loses to Priest, if Priest beats him, hopefully he does it in a good, satisfying fashion so that he can prove the doubters wrong. Because I am a fan of his, been a fan of his since he made his debut in NXT. I knew who he was before WWE. He was known as Punishment Martinez. He comes here, he is, Damian Priest and the guy who lived the rock and roll lifestyle. You see him when he was the North American champion. He had women in a jacuzzi with him and all that stuff, living the life. He doesn't do that here. He's more of a loner, even though he's with Judgment Day. He doesn't have girls around him. He doesn't have that same persona. I don't know if this is going to make Gunther a babyface. I don't know. Maybe it's going to make Damian lean more towards being a babyface. I don't know. Seeing what he's doing with Dominic, man, I don't know if you can say he's a babyface. I think he's doing something. There is something there. Every time you see Dominic in a compromising position, he has like a grin on his face, like he's enjoying it. He's enjoying what Dominic is going through, and it's like, what's going on with him? I don't know. Now, Chad Gable walks in backstage as Maxine Dupree. She convinces Otis and Tozawa, or she's trying to convince them to help him because he needs them. Gable thinks they are talking about him. Maxine corrects Gable and tells him that they are discussing helping Xavier Woods against the Final Testament. They're not trying to help him because Gable, he's going to call out Bo Dallas, who Gable discovered is Uncle Howdy. But then Otis tells Gable that he's on his own. He told him that before. He said he understood that he's going through what he's going through with the Wyatt Sicks, but he said, you're still on your own. Says the same thing this week. And Gable is going to call out Uncle Howdy tonight. He's very, very convinced. Meaning he is very, very just adamant that he's got to call him out. Because they've been doing what they've been doing to him for the last number of weeks. I don't blame him. Now, Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. They're going against Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. They got Sonya Deville in their corner. And, of course, she had a victory earlier against Zelina Vega. And then Stark and Baszler are in control early. And Chance and Carter clear the ring and hit the kickstand off the apron. Pretty impressive. A return from break sees Deville try and get involved. But Valkyria takes out Deville and Stark boots Valkyria in the face. And Baszler and Stark deliver a alley-oop double knee alley-oop knee double team on Chance for the 1-2-3. And that's that. What do you want from me? I don't know. Am I interested? Not really. Because again, they are failing to build up the tag team division. Yeah, they got another team together again. A triple threat team, I guess you can say. Another trio. Who cares? Like I said, if you don't build up these women, these men too, no one's gonna care. Like you got Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. Two guys that can go in the ring, very talented. They've had their moments in the past, but who cares about them as a team if they just put them together? Yes, you can build them up, but I can see them breaking up, going their separate ways, possibly going to join catering. Maybe I think Titus needs someone on the line to serve the green peas and serve the mashed potatoes. You know what I mean? Like that's a joke that everybody says. That's a joke that everybody in the content creators in the IWC like to say that, oh yeah, they need them in the serving line and all that stuff. And it's just almost like it's just always true. And and this is Triple H's era, so he's gonna do something with these guys. He's putting them out there, giving them something to do. That's the thing that I can appreciate about this, because he's giving them something to do until it's going to be their time to shine. Baron Corbin might still be up there in, he's going to keep going until he's ready for a title shot, for a world title shot. Like I said, people are getting behind him. You hear great reactions for him in the crowd, in the audience, which is good. It's almost like him going away, I guess people realized what they were missing. Some people caught him when he was in NXT. I didn't, but I know what he was doing. I mean, he was one half of the NXT Tag Team Champions with Braun Breaker. So he did something over there, doing good. They need to kind of build on that. Like I said, maybe make Apollo Crews a heel. Have someone else with him, another big guy. You don't have a General, what's his name? General Aziz. A big dude. Don't have that, so get another big guy. I can see him. They bring over Oba Femi, who's the NXT North American champion. Make him as heavy when he comes over, and then they could take on Baron Corbin. I don't know. It's something to put out there. Now Dom. He puts his foot in his mouth. That's what I was talking about earlier. As he talks to mommy, saying she belongs to him. I mean, the dude gets a match with Jey Uso that Rhea doesn't agree with, but tells him to go with it. And if he does it, is he a coward? Because as she called him out when he said, okay, I'll just cancel it. He goes, oh, what? What are you, a coward? If you don't do this match, you're a coward. Go ahead and do it. Get it over with. And it's just continuing to look as though him and mommy are going to be Splitsville. But we got to wait and see. Now, Adam Pearce. That's his name. Don't wear it out. Pearce asks Drew McIntyre to join him in the ring. McIntyre obliges. Pearce tells McIntyre he knows CM Punk wants this match. The question is, how badly does he want it? How badly does Drew McIntyre want a match with CM Punk? Pearce asks that if McIntyre can handle it, he wants to get this match done. McIntyre wants the match at SummerSlam. Now, Pearce says he needs McIntyre to do one thing for him. Almost like the caveat. You do this, you get the match. Then you see the two referees that he kind of bulldozed over during that press conference, that one after, what do you call it, after Money in the Bank. You know, these two referees, he put his, like I said, he put his hands on them. And then McIntyre looks confused. I think he's confused because it's like, what is this? You know, I want this match. Why do I need to do anything for it? And then Pierce tells McIntyre that he needs to apologize for hurting both referees. I mean, he did. But then McIntyre ain't budging. He pretty much tells Pierce that it's not negotiable. I'm not going to do this. McIntyre says no. And then goes on a rant about getting screwed by referees. Why would I have to apologize to these guys when I've been screwed over time and again? He even put Pierce in that. He even put Seth Rollins, you know, in that, and says that Seth Rollins is trying to skip the line, you know. So Pierce shakes his head in disbelief, like, as McIntyre is writing about everything, everyone trying to screw him. And then McIntyre, you know, turns his back on Pierce. And then Pierce responds that if McIntyre won't own what he's done, if he doesn't, you know, own up to it, he's still suspended. Suspension ain't going to be lifted. Pierce then, well, not Pierce, but McIntyre then pushes both of the referees and then gets in Pierce's face. And then Seth's music hits, runs to the ring, and he makes the save. Looked like he was ready. He was dressed for a thing. I mean, you know, Drew wasn't. But Seth was looking to get him some. It's like a three-way between Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Drew McIntyre. You can go either way of who's going to feud, right? They all want a piece of each other. A triple threat. You know, I mean, we want Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. And then I guess whoever wins that match, you know, Seth Rollins is going to have him some. I don't know. Very interesting, you know. It's there's some people that honestly are saying that they're tired of this. Like, again, the whole thing of you people not realizing about what goes on when it comes to booking, creative, and all that stuff. It's long-term booking. It's like Triple H is going to let this thing simmer. He's not going to put it on high heat and let it cook right away. He's going to let it simmer for a little bit until it gets to that point where it's done. It ain't done yet. If y'all are impatient about this, and maybe y'all need to start getting your head out of the whole thing of like, oh, if I want something on the internet, I can get it like that in a snap. That ain't how it is in wrestling. That ain't how it is in pro wrestling, in WWE. AEW, when they make an effort, they know how to do a long-term booking thing, but not really, not often. But here, yeah, in WWE, yes, they thrive on that. Why wouldn't they? With this, especially with this, it's been brewing since, it popped off at WrestleMania. Royal Rumble. That's when it really, really popped off. But I think there was some back and forth between them before that. But see what happens with that. Now, Pat McAfee received another videotape courtesy of the Wyatt Sicks during the Pat McAfee show, which I think he's great, but I think the guys that he was with are a bunch of morons. But especially the one guy, I don't know who he is, from ESPN. Is that a videotape? No shit, stupid. You know, gee, real genius there. And then it's later handed over to the production truck. And it's Eric Rowan, aka Ramblin' Rabbit, and an OG of the Wyatt family. How have you been? Says a voice off camera. Sounds like Uncle Howdy. Not gonna lie, says Rowan. The last few years have been hard, very hard. You know, I used to have a family. We were unstoppable, inseparable, always had each other's back. Then one day, just poof, the whole world changed. I lost a brother, the person in the world who believed in me more than anybody else, just gone. And it knocked me on my ass, not gonna lie, talking about Eric, I'm talking about Luke Harper, who he was a world tag team champion with. They were the Bludgeon Brothers in AEW when Brody Lee was there and died. He died while he was underemployed with AEW. He made an appearance there. Did Eric Rowan, known as Eric the Red at that time, and been wondering when he was gonna come back, when he was gonna wrestle, either in AEW or even he come back to WWE. He's back, and here he is talking on this Wyatt Sicks tape. It continues, but in those situations, you get up and you wipe the dust off you and just keep moving, because that's what you got to do. And just when I thought I had everything going, my other brother, as Rowan begins to sob, on the verge of crying, he was gone too. When I had no more family, no more will, I fell down a well. I couldn't get out. Didn't want to get out. Why did I want to get out? I felt catatonic. I couldn't move, numb to everything, to the world. And who's going to miss me? I'm just Rowan. And how did that make you feel? Says Uncle Howdy, I'm assuming. And we see Rowan with the sheep mask. It gives me hope, says Rowan. You know, when I was at my lowest and he reached out to keep, and he pulled me up. When I saw your hand, I accepted it, because I knew I needed it. I knew I needed help, as we hear that it sounds distorted. And I got up, and now I had a purpose in my life, a purpose to help those like myself. This reminds me of that beacon as Rowan looks down at the sheep mask of hope. We're going to take her broken hearts and make some beautiful heart. That's how he ends it. I'm thinking that I hope that this happens every week. We saw Eric Rowan. Hopefully we see Dexter Lumis, Mercy the Buzzard, and Joe Gacy as Huskus the Pig, and then Abby the Witch. Of course, that is Nikki Cross. I want to see them talking, because I want to see their story, like with Rowan. I want to hear what they have to say and what their opinion is. At one time, these guys got released. Joe Gacy did it because he was still relatively new, young. He was still coming up through NXT, but Nikki Cross got released. So did Dexter Lumis. So did Eric Rowan. So I want to hear what they have to say, and what you got to get off their you got to get off their chest, because there's a lot. Like they say, a lot to unpack when it comes to their luggage and the baggage that they have. But it's a very, very good thing, a very, very good segment for the Wyatt Sicks, a very personal one. Not very scary, not too ominous, but very personal, and I like that. Now, Jey Uso versus Dominic Mysterio. Dominic attacks Jey before the match. Of course he does. That's Dirty Dom's MO. Jey fires back and drop kicks Dom, but Dom gets back control and looks to work over Jey. Then after the break, Liv comes to ringside, and Dom rolls out of the ring and tells Liv to leave him alone. Jey baseball slides Dominic, and he falls on top of Morgan, another compromising position that he will have to explain to Mommy, and speaking of which, her music hits. Rhea makes a beeline to the ring, and Liv escapes through the crowd. I gotta ask this question. She was acting pretty brave, I mean, I'm like going, why? Like, didn't she say she was a different Liv? But I guess she's the same as last week when she hightailed it out of there. Does the same thing this week. But maybe it's just the fact that she wants to play mind games with her, maybe. He's trying to let her think that she's scared of her, but then once she gets in the ring with her, she's going to handle Rhea Ripley? I don't think so. I love Liv, but it's like, She ain't tougher than mommy. I gotta say that. And then Dom, again tries to talk to Rhea, but she tells Dom to get in the ring and finish it. Dom rolls into the ring and gets speared by a waiting Jey Uso, who then lands the Uso splash for the win. Then backstage, we hear, "You're lost in front of Rhea, huh?" says Priest to Dom. "It's rough," says Dom. And Priest says, "Speaking of which," and then we see Rhea approach Dom. Says, "Dom, let's get something straight. I don't belong to anyone. I'm not yours." And then she says, "You're mine," as she gives Dom a rose. I'm like, "Ah, how sweet." But she may be setting him up because, after what he has done, I think mommy is going to teach him a lesson he will never forget. She could be playing games with him. Mind games, who knows? There could be a twist that it's going to be her and Priest that are together. A wise Priest setting him up and laughing and kind of giggling every time he sees in a compromising position with Liv, and then also when things happen with Rhea Ripley. So I don't know what's going on. You got to keep your eye on that, folks. Now, Gable says he has solved the greatest mystery in WWE. And he is here to announce that Uncle Howdy's true identity is Bo Dallas. The crowd laughs at him because, it's a no-brainer. Maybe the only other time a real mystery was the identity of the gobbledygooker. Remember that? Back in Survivor Series, they had that big ass egg. What is in that egg? $1 million. They're saying all kinds of things. I think they're saying something like the tape that proves who shot JFK, something like that. It was just some weird things, right? Find out that it was Hector Guerrero, who's the brother of Eddie Guerrero. He was the one that was in that. It was revealed years later that he was in that gobbledygooker outfit, that turkey outfit. He was doing like a do-si-do with Gene Okerlund, right? Dancing in the ring and everything. And he was doing a lot of athletic shit, forward rolls, backflips, doing some kind of moves. And I was thinking that, I could see why now when they said that it was Hector Guerrero, because Hector Guerrero moves like that. So, and that's the only thing. Like, everybody's wondering, what is that? Nobody knew who was in that, what was in the egg, or who was in the gobbledygooker outfit until years later. That's a mystery. That's something we don't know who that is. And, who Uncle Howdy is. He kind of looks silly. But I get it. Story-wise, no one knows. In story, right? We as smart fans, we know. We know who it was. And we're happy for it, right? Now, Gable wants Bo in the ring right now. Dallas walks out on the stage. Before Dallas can make it down the ramp, the Creed brothers attack Bo from behind. The Creeds run Bo into the ring post. Gable and the Creed stand tall over a fallen Dallas who is laughing uncontrollably. I'm thinking like, man, I'm gonna say that, man, they were like doing all kinds of damage to Bo Dallas. German suplexes, and even Gable having the Creeds hold him as he was lighting his ass up with stiff shots. Even after all that, Gable yells because Bo is laughing, reminding me of his brother Bray. A lot of people were pointing that out in their comments, their videos. Well, I only looked at the whatchamacallit, the thumbnails, and even some people that write for these dirt sheets and all that stuff. They were saying that same thing. And a lot of people are giving high praise, even on the videos for the Wyatt Sicks segment. People in the comments, everybody's loving it. And I'm glad to see that. Because a lot of people wanted to hate on it. And I think they're coming around. But Gable grabs him and the lights go out in the arena. Toom, toom. I love when you hear that. And you know that they're coming. It's great. And then the ring fills with smoke. And then the Wyatt Sicks appear on the stage. Ominously, they approach as Sister Abigail, Abby the Witch, holds the lantern, leading the way as the group walks to the ring. Gable and the Creeds run away, and Bo gets to his feet as the Wyatt Sicks surround the ring. Dallas slaps with arms outstretched as the screen cuts to black. When was the last time we saw that? That was when we saw Bray Wyatt, doing that very same pose, but he had Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, and then, of course, later on, Braun Strowman. And it was very, very well done. I love the build. Now these guys are free. Now, this is what Bo Dallas was talking about. It's time to free them. And we're going to definitely see these guys in the ring maybe sooner than later. Maybe they're going to do a run-in. Maybe they're going to do something at SummerSlam. Maybe that's when they're going to really officially start getting physical. I mean, they got physical on the first day, taking out everybody in Gorilla, some of the wrestlers and everything like that. But here we go. They're here. Of course, we've seen that, right? And I'm liking that. I was thinking that people were going to be all over Bo because Bo was getting his ass kicked. But he was doing that because he was absorbing that pain. He was like going, go ahead, give me your best shot. And it didn't matter. But what I like about this is that this could easily be the first feud for the Wyatt Sicks. The newly formed Alpha Academy, the Creeds, and Gable. I can see something popping off really well with this. They got to add a couple more people so that they can kind of combat the numbers game. They don't want to be, I mean, Sister Abigail ain't going to be, well, yeah, of course, the Creeds do have Ivy Niles, so there's that. Someone that can match up with the thing. Right. So, we'll see what happens with that. Now, main event time. Intercontinental Championship match, Sami Zayn versus Ilya Dragunov. Now, Zayn and Dragunov trade stiff shots. And it's like I like them, this match is physical. Dragunov drops Zayn with a right hand. Zayn sends Dragunov over the top with an Arabian press. After the break, Dragunov misses one of his signatures, the Constantine Special. Zayn counters with a blue thunder bomb. Beautifully executed, but Dragunov responds with a German suplex. Dragunov then walks into an exploder suplex in the corner. Now, this is the usual setup for the haluva kick. We know this, as we see Sami calling for it. But showing his ring savvy and quick thinking, Dragunov blocks it with a running knee. Saw that coming. Dragunov tries the H-bomb. Zayn gets a boot up to block it. And Dragunov delivers the coast-to-coast kick. Drop kick, I should say. Dragunov follows it up and tries the senton, but Zayn gets his knees up. Dragunov kicks out as Dragunov stands on the apron. Zayn haluva kicks him off the apron. Braun Breaker appears out of nowhere. And with a head of steam, delivers a spear to Dragunov, cutting him in half on the floor. Zayn narrowly avoids getting run over in the process. Zayn and Breaker brawl, and Sami throws Breaker into the ring and Breaker off the ropes for momentum, a couple times passing, and then he spears Zayn. And this match ends in a no contest. And we have seen this take place a few times, haven't we? Is this going to result in a triple threat at SummerSlam? Could be. I think that would be more of an interesting match. I like the dynamic between these three, and I like the fact that they somehow got these guys in a program, and these are the only three that have ever pinned Gunther. So when Gunther becomes champion, would one of these three guys be challenging him? You imagine all three of these guys facing Gunther if Gunther does become world champion in a fatal four-way. That would be a great match. Maybe an elimination match. And you know how Gunther can get back those losses? An elimination for the four-way elimination match, and he pins all three of these guys. That would be a way for him to get those losses back. But we'll see if that's going to be where Triple H and the Creative go. But you know, it's getting late and getting long, so I'm gonna end the match. End the match. No, I'm gonna end this video here. So anyway, I did enjoy some. I enjoyed let's say sometimes I was supposed to say Survivor Series. But I enjoyed SmackDown. Very good episode, very good edition. Getting everything, you know, on the way, and as we're on the road to SummerSlam, things are getting, all the ducks are being lined up and ready to get knocked down, boom, boom, boom. So I love what Triple H is doing, and I love the storytelling and everything that's going on in the ring, and all of the ways that, you know, that everything's just being, you know, what's the word? But the storylines are coming along, and we're interested in these matches. We're invested in these storylines, these feuds, and we'll just have to wait and see once SummerSlam gets here. I'm tired. Just got enough work. But anyway, that's my video. So again, thanks for stopping by, and until next time, take care, and I will see you in my next video.